the church in Galatia was turning away from their faith and going back into Judaism because of their false teachers coming in and saying, you have to be circumcised in order to be saved, in order to be justified be righteous and be justified by God. See, Paul comes in and says, who bewitched you? And then he goes on in chapter 5, verse 13, he says, look at verse 13. It says, brethren, you have been called into liberty, or in liberty. But my paraphrase, don't use your liberty as an opportunity for the flesh. Now, I inserted that verse here at this point because we're talking about food and drinking wine, maybe drinking light, strong drink. Is there such a thing as light, strong drinks? You got 80 proof, you got 140 proof, you got 160 proof, things of that nature there. But look what Paul tells the church. It's very, very much applicable to us. If not even more so, because we have so much more things that we can get into. He says, you have been set free. You have been called into liberty through what Christ did. But don't allow your liberty to take opportunity for the flesh. Don't allow the liberty that you have, I can still be pleasing to God and go have a drink or go to the club. Don't allow that freedom that you have overdo it or get excessive with it. You see what I'm saying? This is what Christian freedom, the principle, Christian freedom is not a license to sin. And I touched on that already. Christian freedom is not a license to sin. As you begin to learn this freedom, and you begin to say, that sounds good. It looks, in God's word, you want to start taking some liberties. Just bear in mind. Please bear in mind that you don't get caught away. Because see, there's a dichotomy here between legalism, or there's a spectrum, if you will, between legalism and libertinism. Libertinism is one who lives without any moral code whatsoever. And that's some of the problems that we can have when you start ministering and teaching Christian liberty, that some folks can just go all the way over to the left, or to the right, really to the left, libertinism, and just start getting carried away with this liberty. That's what we got to be aware of, and as God's messengers, Christ's messengers, we have to be able to know how to share this word of Christian freedom, but also how to teach people that, okay, you got to be able to use this wisely and have a balance there between, too much cold and too much freedom.